Welcome back to episode number 7, almost double digits. Here today with me on the variety show, we have one of my favorite metal bands of the 21st century, none other than LILIACBAND from coming us live from Atlanta, Georgia. How about you give us a warm hello?
Hello.
It's great to finally have this amazing band on the podcast. I was talking with their manager over the past couple of nights about having them on the show, and he seems to be pretty cool with it. So yeah, how are you guys?
We're
doing
good.
awesome.
How are you?
Yeah.
I'm fantastic. I spent my last couple of nights setting up the vinyls here. As you can see, I'm a bit of a vinyl nerd myself.
Oh, that's so cool.
I've got
Nice.
all everything metal out. So Queensryche, Rush, and Iron Maiden. I have some original singles. I've
Oh,
got an original Trooper there. I'll go get it. Oh,
Oh, that's perfect.
original Australian pressing of the Trooper.
Wow. Wow, that
I
is
got really
awesome.
lucky at a vintage market, and I found that. It's insane.
Wow.
That's so cool.
So, we've got some questions here that I prepared earlier that I would love to ask you about. So, obviously, introductions to our people who don't know who you are. So, basically, who are you and what do you play in the band?
So first of all, I'm the oldest. I'm 22 years old, and my name's Samuel. I'm the lead guitarist.
I'm Abigail. I'm 21 and I am the drummer.
I'm Melody. I am 19 and I am the lead singer.
I'm Ethan. I'm 15 years old and I'm the bassist.
I'm Justin. I am 14 years old and I am the keyboardist for
And
now.
we
And we are
LILIAC.
All
A
right.
family rock band. Rock and roll metal band.
Yes. So, getting started with the history of the band. So, like, when did you all get together?
Since we were like born.
I guess.
Well, we're family and we started learning our instruments from our dad.
Yeah,
'Cause he-
around 2015, right?
2015, so I was like 13. So we all started taking lessons on music and everything, and then we started performing on the Santa Monica Pier, doing covers, and then eventually doing originals. And then we got on TV, and then after that we put our original album out, and we had a cover of Rainbow in the Dark, which blew up, and we did a whole tour off of that, and we're still touring and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I just caught you on the tail end of your Queen of Hearts, Queen of Thorns
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah, Queen of Hearts
Yes.
album.
Yeah,
That came out last year, 2020.
yeah, during the pandemic, that must have been hard for you, not being able to tour during
Yeah.
2020.
Oh
I don't-
yeah.
Yeah.
Touring was like a bummer because
Yeah.
everything was closed. But
Mhm.
it gave us a lot of time to work on the album and to release it. So that was like the advantage of it.
Yeah, I definitely know, speaking with a lot of musicians, friends, they had a lot of time to like write new songs and all that. So definitely a good time
Yep,
to take
that's
advantage
what
of
we
that.
did.
And you did. So, what inspired that band's sound and overall look of the vamp metal look that you guys?
Well, our band name LILIAC, it means vampire bat in Romanian because our parents are from Romania, Transylvania. Our dad lived like an hour away from Dracula's castle, so we kind of like incorporated like the vampire aesthetic into our music and our look and outfits and everything. So that's why we dress up the way we do.
Yep.
I reckon that's pretty cool. I think, there's not many bands out there who definitely, at least what I know of them, are very much new into metal and more progressive rock myself, but definitely I've not seen someone of this caliber before. So,
Oh, thank you.
definitely, your first live show. So you mentioned it was Santa Monica Pier. Technically, that was kind of your
Yes.
first live show as a band. What was that like?
Yeah, well, during the weekends back when we were very little, our dad would always take us to the Santa Monica Pier every weekend, and we would busk on the pier, be street performers, and it was a lot of fun. But we went every weekend, and people put
It
in
was-
some donations. We built a bunch of crowds. Sometimes they got out of control, meaning like way too many people. Nobody could walk through the pier, and the cops would come, and they'd be like, "You gotta control the crowd." I'm like, "Yeah, but every time we bring them in, more people come. So what can we do?"
Oh, that must have been insane, to know that you were born stars from day dot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mm. Okay, time for some individual questions. First, I'm going to go on to Medley with some singing questions. First off, I found quite interesting is you have a really big sort of following or fanship, if you will, of Dio from Rainbow and Black Sabbath. What makes him so important to your music career?
Well, Dio, he is my main inspiration on vocals. I sing his songs almost every day, and I love learning from him. I watch a lot of interviews, I watch a lot of his live shows, and listen to his music all the time. It's just whenever I first discovered him, when I first discovered him, that's when I got hooked on. You know, my dad showed us, all of us, and then I heard my dad and a manager from a music store in Downey, California, talking about Ronnie, you know? So then I came in to join in the conversation and I really liked it. So then when I got home, I started listening to a lot of Ronnie and I'm like, I want to sound like him. And I was only 15 years old. I didn't even know he passed away until I found out. I was so sad. But yeah, his music inspires me a lot, especially on the vocals.
I could definitely hear it. I mean, I've got a friend who I was actually talking with last night. I was talking about this whole interview thing. It was like, hey, I'm going to be interviewing this band called LILIAC, and the lead singer happens to be very much into Dio, Rainbow, and everything, all that. And he was like, oh, that's very cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely when I speak to him next, I'll tell him that try and get him onto your music. So, what is
Okay,
your
cool.
favorite
Thank you.
thing about being a lead vocalist in the band or being the front of house?
I get to stay in the middle of this interview seat. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know, because we kind of work together. We're kind of like doing it all at the same together. I mean, being a vocalist, yeah, it's my role, and that's what I like to do. So I'm glad that I was able to sing, so that I could be like, people, look, I can sound like Ronnie almost. But yeah, it's fun because like I could also walk out and I could touch people's hand in the crowd. You know, I could interact with the crowd more, and then interpret, like when it comes to writing music, I can interpret a lot of like lyrics, and like me and my dad also work on the melody lines where we can just go anywhere, and yeah, it's fun.
Nice. So, what is your range of vocals? Like, what is your lowest and then your highest that you can reach?
I'm not sure. I'm not like that advanced to know if this note is the lowest and this one's the highest, you know, because sometimes some days I go higher, some days I go lower. But it's, I don't know, it's just my range.
It's a pretty good range, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely. From what I've seen, you have an incredible range, and that all those lessons you got gave you such an incredible talent, and you should be very, very fortunate that you've been given such a blessing.
Yeah. My dad helped me through having my through the whole vocal journey from the start to what now. I've been learning a lot with my dad, and my dad also like learned a lot from like what sounds good, what's the right way to sing, and how to sing it, how to give that energy, that attitude. So yeah.
Yeah, you've been definitely fortunate with that, and also you've been fortunate to play with Loverboy on stage.
Oh yeah.
How'd you get around to
Yeah,
doing
Yes,
that?
that was
How'd you
yeah,
get around to
that
doing
was
that?
awesome.
Well, basically, we were opening up for Loverboy in New Mexico, and we were just backstage watching them perform. And then the drummer from Loverboy, like they were performing their last song, and then he was looking to the side, and he saw us watching them, and he was all like going like this, like Abby, come here, like come
Yeah.
on the drums. And so we
So
told
I
her
was
to like go, and so she went up and started playing the drums with him, and then after like what a minute or something,
yeah.
the singer saw us, and then he called Melody to go on stage, and then so she did, and then they started like jamming out. It was so fun.
It was really amazing.
Hmm. Hopefully you try and have more of those experiences in the future where you get more bands playing together with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I know, especially like opening up for
Yeah, we
bands
had,
when you come touring worldwide and everything. Maybe possibly when you hit Australia in the
Yeah.
well,
future.
Melody did sing with Vinny Appice.
Oh yeah, I did got the chance to perform with the drummer from Dio, Vinny Appice.
Yeah.
Also Black Sabbath as well. Vinny Appice and Black Sabbath. as well. But anyways, so we did a show in Kentucky and it was awesome. I got to sing a few songs with him and perform with I think it was called Sabbath Nights. They're a tribute band to Black Sabbath, and Vinny was playing the drums for them, and then they asked me to do a few songs, so then I did a few
We
songs.
also were recently on the Kiss cruise, and Sebastian Bach didn't come on the cruise,
Yeah.
but his whole band did, so she was able to fill in for him on a couple of songs.
Yeah.
Nice. Speaking of the Kiss Cruise, one of my favorite prog metal bands from America, Queensryche, was also in attendance. Did you get a chance to see
Oh
them?
yeah.
Yeah, we got a
We
chance
did.
to see them. They were
Actually,
very awesome.
It was cool because the singer from Queensryche, he came backstage during one of our shows that we were
Isn't
gonna
the
play.
drummer too?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
and
drummer.
they started talking to us, and because we opened up for them in Ohio one time, and we didn't have a chance to meet them, but this time we did on the cruise, and they were super nice and chill, and
Yeah.
we just had a great time talking with them.
They even watched our show.
Nice. Well, that's great because I've recently gotten into being a fan of Queensryche through my metal friend.
Oh,
And I have
Nice.
The Warning. It's a Japanese pressing of The Warning, their debut album.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully something I might
That's
see you
awesome.
guys doing in the future as a Queensryche cover.
Oh,
Yeah, that would be
that
awesome.
cool.
Because with the rage that metal he has, could definitely maybe even see something from the first album. Like maybe Take All with the
Mhm.
Flame or NM156.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Samuel and Ethan's questions, obviously because you guys are both the stringed instruments of the band, bass guitarist and guitarist. Personal favorite guitars, and if you can name it, what model and who is the company that made it?
Well, the thing is, we are endorsed with Sawtooth, so we get a lot of their guitars, and so that's what I play now. I used to play a lot of Schecters, and those were my personal favorites, but this time, now, since we're endorsed with Sawtooth, that's the guitars that I play.
And what about you,
Same
Ethan?
with Ethan.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like the sawtooth basses that they give me. They're really cool.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I also like GNLs, and then I like the what is it? The Music Man, the Stern.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Those are awesome.
Nice. So what are the influences then on your style of playing guitar and bass? Do you have anyone in particular who would you name as an
Oh
influence?
yeah, so I listen to a lot of like shred guitarists, and some of my personal favorites are like, Eddie Van Halen, Yngwie Malmsteen, Richie Kotzen, Paul Gilbert. Those are like some of my personal favorites.
Vivian Campbell.
Yeah.
And that'd be
And
the same. Oh, yep.
yeah, and I like Flea, the bassist from Red Hot Chili Peppers. His slapping is really good.
Mm. One of my favorite artists for bass, actually Mark King from Level 42, has a very distinctive similar sound to Flea. Maybe
really?
influenced by, but we'll see when I
Yeah.
listen back
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Has your playing gotten any recognition from famous musicians? Your guitar playing and bass playing?
Well, I mean, I do remember when I played like a little cover of like Yngwie Malmsteen songs. He actually shared it on his Instagram story, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, and Michelangelo Badio, he's another one of my favorites, and we actually got to meet him in person, and he actually saw some of our videos, and he said he complimented my playing, so that was awesome.
That's nice. That is really nice. Do you have a favorite LILIAC song that you like to play live?
And also John 5, he saw some of our videos on social media as well.
Yeah. Personally, what my favorite song to play live, a LILIAC song, so an original, it would either be Nothing or Vertigo, because I really like Vertigo. It's really trippy and like, the bass gets you, and then Sam's bizarre solo. That's fun to see people's reaction.
Yeah, my favorite song that we play live is probably Not Afraid, because I feel like that gets the crowd pumping.
I like the bass line for Crazy Nights. That's really
Mhm.
fun to play.
As for originals, my favorite to play would be Nothing.
Yeah.
I love. There's so many of our original songs I love to play, but I really do like playing Nothing, but also World Comes Down as well.
Nice.
Right.
Obviously,
Right.
myself, I am a fellow drummer, much like Abigail.
Oh, that's
Oh,
I've
nice.
been
awesome.
self-taught for about 3-4 years now.
Perfect. That's awesome.
So that's something very awesome. And speaking of Abigail, it's time for your questions. So, personal
Perfect.
influences on the drums. So, who inspired you to, play drums?
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many drummers out there, and it's really hard to choose a favorite. But I do love Dave Grohl and Tommy Lee, and then Roger Taylor, and it's just so many drummers out there, and each one is unique in their own way, you know. So it's
Hmm,
really hard to choose a favorite.
that's very true. No mention of the great Neil Peart, but that's fine.
That's true. Yes, Neil Peart. Like it's just so many you can name because there's so many drummers out there.
Yeah,
Rest in
that's
peace.
Rest in
too
peace.
little time. So,
Yeah.
what
Yep.
brand is
Dude, I
your?
wish I could have seen Rush live. That would have been
Oh,
insane.
Yeah.
that would
Neil
have been
Peart. Oh my
awesome.
god.
Imagine getting compliments and
Watch them
feedback
play
from them.
YYZ. I'm like,
Oh my god.
I never
I
got.
met a friend up in Sydney who I got some records from Utopia Records, which is Sydney's metal store. So I probably no doubt that you'll get your records in there in Sydney. I'll try and convince him to bring him in. But he saw Rush on Counterpart's tour pretty much until they broke up.
Oh,
So from
wow.
94 onwards.
Wow.
Wow.
So your brand of drums that you play, what brand is it?
It's CZ Custom. So a guy in Kentucky, his name is Bill Spray. He creates drums, and so he created my drums for me, and I got to choose what colors I wanted, like painted, and like how I wanted it. So I chose like red and black, and he's we're actually in the works of making a new drum set. And so I'm really excited about it. But I really love my drum set. It has a really awesome, unique sound, and how it's built and everything is just perfect.
Nice. This is kind of this next question is usually a high talking point, but it's about electronics amongst acoustic kits. Would you ever see yourself going down that route with them,
Well,
or do you want just an
um,
acoustic overall?
I think for performing live and for yeah, specifically for performing live, acoustic is better. But I have played on electric drum kits just because when we used to live in California, we lived in an apartment, so I couldn't play acoustics because we had neighbors, you know. So I got used to playing an electric kit, but playing on an acoustic kit is so much better than electric kit. It feels better, it sounds better, and you know, acoustic is made to be played. You know, electrics, it's made to be played soft, just for practicing and everything.
Fair enough. Well, of course, obviously where I am here in Australia, I'm amongst houses, so I'm forced to be put on electronic kits pretty much 24/7. I can't have my own acoustic kit. As much as I would love it, I can't have it. So I
Oh,
do,
I'm
I
so
do feel
sorry.
pain. But luckily,
Yeah.
my high school had this really kick-ass kit that I'd pretty much play pretty much every lunchtime. So I was fortunate enough to do
Nice.
that. So top 5 drum songs you personally like to play with like LILIAC original or other bands. So other band songs
For
that you
me,
like to cover.
well, I do love. Okay, so we have our original song Dear Father has a lot of double kick, and so that is really awesome to play because it just spices things up with the double kick and everything. And I also like playing Trooper because of like the beat, and it also has like um it's like fast the beat and like a lot of fills and everything. Let me think. And then also another original, Not Afraid. It's really groovy. It's a shuffle. It has a really cool like vibe and everything to it, so that's really fun to play. Another one of our originals is Crazy Nights. That one is like really, really syncopated and really awesome. It's a really I love playing that song too. And so that's 4 songs, right? Last song, let me think. I like playing. Let's see. Let's go with let's say Holy Diver. That one just like the way the song I love how the drums was played to the song. Like it just fits perfectly with all the fills and everything, with all the guitars. I just love it.
Nice.
I love it.
I think one of my favorite songs that I like to play, and it's definitely more towards the version from Emerson, Lake and Powell. So Cosy Powell from Rainbow, believe it or not, joined up with Keith Emerson and Greg Lake in 1986, but he did this epic version of Tarkus from the Tarkus album from 1971 live, and it sounds absolutely amazing, and it's a great version of the song to play. Definitely sounds more metal, so more down the Rainbow Black Sabbath route than it is.
Do you know the drum parts from Stargazer?
Oh,
Rainbow?
man.
That's insane.
Yeah, I definitely will get around to doing that. That would be awesome to do. If I can get on acoustic, maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I mainly do myself. I mainly play more prog songs. So Jethro Tull, King Crimson, Genesis, Yes, Rush.
Oh,
all those
nice.
bands. So I'm very familiar with the prog back catalog, but not much metal and more new to metal as it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. Justin with the keyboards. Influences on keyboards.
My main would most likely be Freddie Mercury, cause the way he improvises throughout all his songs, it's like I want to be like that. Like it's insane.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's definitely a great choice. I mean, absolute classic choice. He's an absolute star on piano, and the way he sings as well at the same time, which is absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
what made you decide to play keyboards over any other instrument for a metal band? You could play guitar, you could play drums, you could even play bass, but what made you stick with the keyboards?
Well, it's kind of a funny story about that, cause originally, so our dad, when he decided to put me and Ethan in the band, he let us decide between guitar and keyboard. So I said I don't care. And then Ethan chose guitar. So I went with I went with keyboard.
Fair enough. I mean, another instrument I actually play myself, keyboards. That was the first one I ever picked up back when I started doing
Yeah.
music performances around age 13, 14. Again, another self-taught
good choice.
instrument. How am I so good? I don't know. So
Good
what
choice.
makes your keyboards so important to the iconic LILIAC sound?
I would say mainly a lot of our songs have a pad that really adds that eerie like effect to it. It's very, I think it's essential for the band.
Yeah.
Definitely. And would you consider adding a second keyboard to your rig? So going up a step and adding another one so you can have more sounds?
That would be awesome. Maybe in the future that would be so cool.
Yeah.
But I'm also I'm starting to learn guitar actually, so eventually you might be seeing that too.
Oh, that would be cool. So you have a proper full-on like three-piece guitar going on and like proper full-on metal band. That's awesome. Even though not to forget John Lord from Deep Purple as well with the Hammond organ. That'd be another cool thing to see. So coming back to the Kiss Cruise in 2021 that you got invited on. So how do you keep getting invited onto these things? Like you must have some connections to the people who run that.
The first Kiss Cruise, actually, there was a contest for bands to enter, and then like people, like fans, would vote, and so we got the highest votes to go on the Kiss Cruise. So that's the first time we went on the Kiss Cruise, and the fans on the Kiss Cruise, they loved us. So at the end of the Kiss Cruise, they get like a review thing, and they can put, "Oh yeah, we loved LILIAC. Bring them back on the next cruise." So we come back on the next cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all thanks to the fans because they keep requesting and everything.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing because you get to play alongside so many amazing bands, and I'm still very jealous you got to see
Yeah.
Queensryche because there's probably chances we'll never be here in Australia at all.
Oh.
Like we didn't even get to see Rush in 1991 there when they were scheduled to come here for the Roll the Bones tour, but they had to pull out because sponsors were not wanting them at all.
Why?
I tell you, the music industry here in Australia is very fucked up. They're very
Wow.
precise and very narrow in what they choose to bring in, is why some of the records, where especially when you see like Australian pressing of Rush stuff on vinyl, goes up like that because it's so sought
Yeah,
after.
wow.
So
That's
yeah,
insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
prog and metal, are they truly the same or are they completely different? So that's prog rock.
What did you say?
What was the
I
question?
feel like they're slightly different. Yeah.
Because they
progressive.
kind of do sound the same in like styling and all that, but also they might
Yeah.
have differences too.
Probably sounds more modern, right?
What, metal?
Then okay, now I have no
Uh,
idea. I'm so confused.
we stumped you.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's hard to say though, but
I like
I feel like-
listening to the older stuff.
No, but I feel like that, like, even though they sound similar, because it's the same genre, like rock, but I feel like there's some slight differences. Do you know what I'm saying?
yes.
I'm trying to like figure out what the differences could be.
It just sounds different a little
Yeah.
It just sounds different.
Maybe
We'll
there
just leave it
aren't
at
any.
that because it's too much of a
Yeah.
stumped question. I think I really didn't think that one through. So you're building a studio at the moment via crowdfunding. How is that going?
it's doing pretty well, and we're excited for it to be finished and finally have our studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't started on it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're getting ready to.
Yeah.
Right. So that's through Patreon from memory.
That's through
GoFundMe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Perfect.
but we have Patreons as well.
and yeah, so just shout out to all our fans and thank you so much for all the love and support.
Yeah. I've always wanted to support someone, so maybe it might be you guys.
Aw,
Oh,
thank you.
so much.
Hey, it's a great time to get exposure here in Australia because we are in need of some new acts to come here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would really love to
That would
come.
be awesome.
yeah, because we're the home of AC/DC after all.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
true.
So does any one of you here collect vinyls?
We all have.
do.
I do. I have I don't know exactly, but maybe like 50,
Nice.
around 50.
I have mostly Dio Rainbow Elf albums.
I have a variety of a little bit of everything. Like some of them, like we got gifts from people. Like they're all we had a good friend, he gave us like a whole stack, and then another friend gave me a whole stack, and so we just have a variety of music vinyls.
Nice. Yeah, my cupboard here behind me, I've got mainly progressive rock, but also delving into a bit of new wave, bit of synth pop really with Tears for Fears, but yeah, mainly just prog rock for
That's
mine.
awesome. That's cool.
And probably my
Yeah.
favorite record. I'm gonna say The Warning at the moment because I've been listening to them to get into Queensryche and actually see what they're all about because it's been a long
that's
time since I put on the record. But also Hemispheres because one of my best friends who I found out as a Rush fan that's her favorite album from Rush.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you have a LILIAC vinyl?
No, but I
Okay.
would really love one. I'd love to put one up
Yeah.
there, review it on the page. Because I run an Instagram page, so obviously you might have seen some of your posts being tagged by me. That's my page, Vinyls According to Lamb. So that is my
Okay.
account. I do all my vinyl stuff there. And it's also linked up to my YouTube channel as well, which I do review some vinyl there from time to time, which is also where the podcast we posted as well.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Awesome.
Whenever we're
Awesome.
doing this. So usually I like to open the floor to questions to the host. So if you've got any questions for me, feel free to shout them out now.
All right.
Let me
Hmm.
think.
Come on, Justin.
How old are you?
19, so I'm the same age as Medley.
Melody.
You're really 19?
Yes.
You look older.
No way.
Yeah, I know. It's probably the hair. I turned 20 in February. So
February what?
So that
February
means
10.
I'm older.
Okay, nice. That's good. My birthday's the 24th.
Nice. Another February person here in the house. Uh, my
Have you?
probably my main influences, probably definite, is Neil Peart for drums.
Yeah.
Yes.
Neil Peart's a definite influence of mine. So, any other questions? So,
Yes. Have you ever seen a wild bearded dragon in Australia?
okay. No. Obviously, lots of things that Americans like to say about Australia are often irrelevant and incorrect. But it's also good for satire as well, which I do enjoy. As much as I like to say I have not.
Have a kangaroo.
I have seen a couple of kangaroos. My dad has seen a whole bunch of them out when he's been riding out
Oh, that's
near
cool.
towards Torquay Way. There's like a whole field of them where you manage to see one. I've seen a brown snake out down on the other side in Mornington Peninsula, so I've seen some snakes in my time.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Do you have any famous people's autographs?
Oh, now you mention that, I do. The Scottish Celtic rock band that I'm seeing next year, Big Country. This is from 1990, and it's a whole band
Oh, that's
Oh wow.
signed
That's cool.
That's so
signed by the
cool.
late Stuart Amundsen, who passed away 20
Oh.
years ago to this day from suicide in Hawaii.
Oh wow.
Oh.
That's pretty tough on me for that. We've also got Bruce Swanson as well, who plays additional rhythm guitars. Pat, I forgot his last name, came from Beastie Boys to replace Mark Brzezinski, who's the original drummer. Also got his signature, and also Tony Butler as well.
Nice.
As for other famous people, I've interviewed Peter John Vitesse from Jethro Tull, which I got to hear a lot about
wow.
Ian Anderson, and how he was pretty much a mentor to him because he was around about my age, a bit older, when he joined the band in 1982.
Wow.
Wow.
So
That's
he,
so cool.
the story goes, he pretty much came from a poor family in Scotland. And when he was 19 or 20, his father told him to hit the road until he got a job. And his job was
Wow.
playing keyboards with Jethro Tull. So that was
Wow.
episode
crazy.
4 of the Variety Show podcast. It was absolutely amazing. I got to talk to him for about 3 hours.
What was his
Wow.
What was his name?
Peter John Vitesse. He's a Scottish keyboard player, songwriter, and producer. He actually formed
Wow.
Go West, who's a very iconic synth pop band from Britain from around the mid 80s.
Oh
That's
wow.
cool.
So he's
Wow.
worked with a lot of big names. Let's see. Probably one that I can think of besides Go West is Alan Murphy, who played with a lot of jazz fusion bands. So Level 42, he works with Go West before he came on to Level 42. After two of the, it was after Boone Gold left Level 42, he replaced him on their final album for the 80s, Staring at the Sun, before he would eventually die of AIDS in 89, forcing 4 days after they released a single, Take Care of Yourself.
Oh.
So, but
That's
definitely he has a lot of interesting stories, and he pretty much took up the whole entire podcast just speaking about his stories.
3 hours is a lot.
I know. I didn't get to sleep about until 1 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
but it was worth it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Wait,
though.
what time is it for you?
On my phone, I think it's 10:42 a.m. on Saturday, so I'm in the future.
Oh
wow.
Wow.
Time
that's
traveling?
cool.
Let me know if the world ends. So I can get prepared.
We're-
Yeah, so we can get prepared.
Yes, and my phone cover is none other than the Assassin single from Marillion. That's
That's
Nice.
another one of my favorite bands, and
Do you have any
not the
pets?
metal side, but the prog side definitely there. The original lead singer Fish was quite the theatrical person, like Peter Gabriel from Genesis
Yeah.
when he was in Genesis days.
Oh, that's
All right.
Wow.
We
Well,
want to say thank you for having us here. It was such a fun time talking to you.
You're welcome.
yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much for coming on. I
Yeah.
thought you guys are never going to show up because I didn't hear it from your manager, but obviously you must have gotten the links. So
I
I'm very
know.
fortunate that you guys came on, and I'm very honored to have said I have interviewed you lot. So
Yeah.
Oh,
thank
thank
you very
you.
much
Thank
for
you.
taking out the time in America to come interview to come be on this podcast with some random 19-year-old from Australia. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Rock
Rock
on!
on and rock
and
hard.
hard. All
Have a nice
right.
day.
Bye.
Right.
Bye bye.
Bye.